Even separate from the chemical weapons issue, what's happening in Syria is a blemish on the international community generally, and we've got to make sure that we're doing everything we can to protect the Syrian people. So we are already deeply invested in trying to find a solution here. What is true, though, is that if I can establish in a way that
Mr. Shulman, so do you think these accusations will lead to another Iraqi-style intervention in Syria or not?
That's the pattern, that's the process, that's the intent, and that's the way they operate. Exactly so. Even as they are attempting to provide a pretext for war by bombing Syria for providing weapons to Hezbollah. Hezbollah, after all, is defending the Lebanese against a series of Israeli invasions, and the Israeli head of armed forces has declared that Israel is already preparing for the next round in Lebanon. So all of this is by way of orchestrating, as Wilkerson has described, false flag undertakings to provide a rationale and pretext for long-established plans that the United States and Israel have for waging war in the region and for attempting to fragment countries as they had in Iraq and as they intend for Syria and Iran. That's what underlies this.
Indeed. We'll have to leave it there for the time being. Many thanks to Ralph Shulman, author of Hidden History of Zionism from Berkeley, California. Thanks for your time there, sir.
Not only the United States, but also the international community feel confident is the use of chemical weapons by the Assad regime.
That was used by the opponents, by the rebels. And we have no indication at all that the government, the authority of the Syrian government have used chemical weapons.
Then that is a game changer, because what that portends is potentially even more devastating attacks on civilians, and it raises the strong possibility that those chemical weapons can fall into the wrong hands.
Some chemical weapons were used, in particular nervine gas,
and get disseminated in ways that would threaten U.S. security or the security of our allies.
During our investigation for crimes against humanity and war crimes, we collect some witness testimony that made to appear that some chemical weapons were used, in particular nervine gas, and what appeared on to our investigation that was used by the opponents, by the rebels, and we have no indication at all that the government, the authority of the Syrian government have used chemical weapons. Of course, now the special commission that the Secretary General put in place will investigate and tell us what it is exactly. But I was a little bit stupefied that the first indication we got, they were about the use of nervine gas by the opponent.
You mean U.S. military action?
By game changer, I mean that we would have to rethink the range of options that are available to us. Now, we're already, as I said, invested in trying to bring about a solution inside of Syria. Obviously, there are options that are available to me that are on the shelf right now that we have not deployed, and that's a spectrum of options.